Back in early 2024, this user created a user report on me on backpack.tf which just says I, and then he closed it 2 seconds later. A minute later, he creates a second user report on me on backpack.tf which now just says he is a scammer. But then he closed it again. A third time he reported me again, but now he's actually saying something. I found this out when another big trader named UltraLow pinged me on Discord and said, "Hope you eat popcorn reading this." So let's enjoy. Now, I was contemplating hiding out the name of the guy who reported me, but this is all public information you could access right now, and the guy has already been inactive for 2 years, so it wouldn't matter if anyone tries to witch hunt the guy, in which you shouldn't, because do something else productive instead. But in this report, the victim states, he's selling a stolen hat which happens to be mine. You can even check the history of the hat where my name is seen, the villain. My account was hijacked by a bot and my items were resold. I confronted SP about this, but he has asserted that the bot is not a scam bot and refuses to return the hat to me, so I feel like I must report him along with the bot for selling a hat that was stolen right out of my backpack. All evidence can be submitted to you upon request. So for context, here's exactly what went down. I bought an unusual hat called the Jellyfish Jam War Hood from a trading website called stntrading.eu. They're a very well-known automated trading website that functions pretty much exactly the same as scrap.tf if you've heard of them. They are completely legit. I then get added by this guy, literally called the villain, and you'll see in the later screenshots, but he tries to fake nicely explain to me how I own the hat he got hijacked out of, and he threatens to me that I'm probably going to get banned for trading with these scam bots, which are just STN trading bots, unless I give it back to him. What actually happened was that he got scammed, or he clicked the phishing link or whatever, and the scammer stole his items. The scammer then dumped some of these items to STN Trading to immediately secure some pure keys. By chance, I ended up buying an unusual that was technically scammed, but I could have never known that by simply buying it off this automated trading website, which already does automatically screen out banned users who are marked as scammers. However, they weren't banned or flagged yet. It sounds so stupid, but because the victim was pushing it so hard that he reported me everywhere for trading with these trading bots and that I was gonna get banned, I was insanely confused and I asked other big traders what they thought about the situation. They told me that I was completely fine because I only just happened to end up with the scammed item, and it was impossible for me to tell that it was scammed from the time I bought it. So I trekked on and metaphorically ate popcorn while I watched this entire situation unfold until it got rejected. So let's continue on with what happened in the report with the added context. You can contact me on Steam, my link is blah blah blah. Even though the moderator can very easily just click on his Steam profile from the page, but okay. All evidence to show he is part of the scam and who he is dealing with, and he spams a bunch of screenshots from his phone onto a heap of replies. This one shows the inventory being traded away to a name I cannot pronounce. This screenshot shows the backpack.tf item history of the unusual that was stolen when it went from his account to the accused unflagged scammer to the SDN trading bot to me, even though he could have just linked it instead of screenshotting it. He says in this reply and screenshot, "This is the scammer in question, no inventory bot comment section level 2 account, literally hijacked my account." And if he's talking about all these warning signs and red flags, then I don't know how he got scammed by him, but okay. And you'll see in this report that it's a common theme where he keeps on saying his account was just poof, hijacked overnight, and it could have happened to anyone. Plus, he really insists that stntrading.eu are scam bots. And in the next screenshot, since he reported me to Steam support, which does absolutely nothing, he screenshots the chat messages we had on Steam, which would be invalid evidence in a backpack.tf user report such as this, because it's on the browser, which you can very much just inspect element the conversation and manipulate what was actually said. Hence why you'll see the admin constantly say, show full uncropped screenshots of the actual Steam chat window. Anyway, I say my usual greeting to anyone that adds me. He said he got scammed and is devastated. I show some sympathy, and then he asked me if I'd quick buy his inventory with cash. I said I couldn't because I had no cash on me at the time, and 2 days later he's asking about the Jellyfish Jam War Hood and if I bought it off of a trading bot. I said yes, I did buy it off the trading bot, and I quite frequently buy unusuals off that trading website. Now the misinformation spills out, and he says that these bots in particular sell scammed unusuals, and that I'm involved in this whole scheme due to being in the item history. In the next screenshot, he's really trying to scare me by saying that because the hat was scammed and I own it, it's going to get banned alongside everyone else, including me. I briefly explained to him that it's unfortunate that he got scammed, but I don't check the histories of items I buy from a trading bot which already screens out the scammers. And by the way, it is very important you do check if an item you're buying was scammed, because you can get banned on backpack.tf, but in this case, it was impossible for me to know that if it was dumped onto a trading website which already checked for me and found nothing suspicious. He then explains his side of the story where 2 days ago, he apparently just woke up and his unusual vanished out of thin air into a scam bot, which was probably an API scam. And again, he's really pushing that everyone, including me and the automated trading bot, are gonna get a VAC ban for dealing with a scammed unusual. I then explain again that these trading bots are legit and we're not in the wrong because there's no way we would have known that the unusual was scammed if the scammer wasn't marked or flagged in any way. He then just brushes off what I just said and insists that he'll get a duplicated version from Steam support, which has literally been impossible for over a decade now, which really shows his ignorance. And again, he's warning about this supposed scam bot that I've been trading with. And for the billionth time, he warns again that I should be cutting off contact with this scam-specific scam bot because Steam will VAC ban me before the evidence he submitted and all the item histories with our names in it. And the last message was a threat that he reported me to Steam support agent, and best of luck if you do happen to get trade banned. After talking to the other traders, I knew I wasn't going to get trade banned, but doesn't that fake niceness put you off a bit? Good luck if I get banned when you reported me? What the helly? And finally, the backpack.tf admin responded, before we move forward, you can upload 5 images per comment and don't need to spam it with a new reply each time. Plus, he then shared to show uncropped and unedited images of the Steam chat window because the text messages he was showing could have easily been fabricated on the browser. The villain says, "Hi, I submitted all text changes between me and SP above. I can resend. There were no text messages exchanged between me and the bot, as if you message a bot. Let me know how else I can help." Like that admin just did not ask for that at all and it's not even evidence. What is resending the same images going to even do? He then uploads one screenshot. This screenshot shows I made a trade I did not consent to, since, as you can see, I received nothing. My item was taken from me by the money bot, as you can check the history of this hat and see who came right after my name. And then, completely disregarding what the admin just said, he uploads another screenshot in a separate reply saying, my hat was subsequently resold to SP who bought my scammed hat from the bot. That's why I wish to take action against them both in all measures possible. And after realizing how stupid this guy is, the admin replied for direct screenshots from the Steam chat window. The villain replies, I can resend, here they are in order. Note, this is my chat log with SP who confirmed that he trades with these scam bots. I have not messaged any scam bot for obvious reasons. It's really fascinating on how he's so convinced that these are scam bots and the fact he hasn't messaged them. And again, he re-uploaded the exact same screenshots he uploaded before in separate replies. The backpack.tf admin, probably furious with him at this point, states, this is not what I requested yet. Please read my message. Do you have screenshots directly from the Steam chat window? The chat window that pops up on Steam when someone sends you a message on Steam. Do you have the screenshots from there or do you not? Like, I don't think the moderator could be more clear than that. And then for fun, I just jumped in and said, I don't have them either because he removed me, which was true. After the last message of him threatening me, he removed me before I got to say anything else. The villain's next reply is, if you return the stolen hat to me, I literally would drop all this. The hijacking could have happened to anyone, you or me. I was on the unfortunate end and now I literally see my stolen hat on the market. You can return it and I will pay you $30 for it back to make it fair. Otherwise, I have to continue pushing for your immediate trade ban. Now, it's unfortunate to see someone get scammed, but first off, I'm not obliged to return an item I paid for if it got scammed because it's his fault for getting scammed, not mine. Secondly, the hijacking could not have happened to anyone. He got hijacked or scammed because he did something stupid like clicking a suspicious link and inputting his Steam login information. You don't just wake up one day and your account randomly gets hijacked. And thirdly, paying me $30 was less than what I paid for the hat, and that doesn't automatically mean he can drop all the reports if I really was involved. And lastly, how am I going to get immediately trade banned if I've done nothing wrong here? In his next reply, he pings the admin's username like it's Discord, and he himself said he blocked me but has our text exchanges on the Steam support browser. He says there's nothing else to add. But then immediately after, he said he can provide more information about my trading history with stntrading.eu bots per his request. Now, he's publicly said that he's working closely with Steam support to get a duplicated version of his Stolen Unusual and to officiate a trade ban against me, the actual scammer, and every STN trading bot involved in the hijacking. Not scam at all, apparently, of my Unusual. He replies again saying, I refuse to willingly acknowledge SP played no part in the scam ring. He regularly trades with these bots, many of them having obtained Unusuals unethically and questionably. I will, once again, provide all text messages per your request, admin, but since I have SP blocked, I cannot obtain those live messages anymore. So because I regularly use a very well-known trading website, that makes me liable to being permanently trade banned. And again, he's like to the admin, I could resend our text messages, but I blocked him, so you need to take my word for it from the Steam support browser. And I don't know how anyone can be this stupid. For the third time, he's re-uploaded the same pictures he uploaded before in separate replies, as if the admin is now swayed onto your side, buddy. And since the admin was taking a bit of time to reply, the villain's patience was running thin and he wondered if there's any updates and if action could be taken, pinging the admin's name like it's Discord again. I have submitted as much evidence as I could. If you wish, you can add me on Discord at his username, so I can screen share everything for you if needed. I simply want 1. My hat returned, 2. SP to get trade banned along with the bots if possible, 3. Greater security to prevent stolen hats from being resold on backpack.tf. Thank you, Russell Villain Anderson, wrote this document himself publicly on the internet. And as this report was popping off, another fellow trader dropped in and very reasonably explained. Seems like it was sold to a STN bot, then to SP, so why would he get trade banned? He's not the one that scammed you. If you want the hat returned to you, you could offer to pay what he paid from STN. The stolen hat was just dumped to a bot, not sold on Backpack anyway. After witnessing such logic, the villain starts to crash out and says, because he regularly buys from these bots. If your hat was stolen by a bot and resold to another bot, which a regular trader then buys from, you would feel the same way. I wasn't scammed, by the way, I was hijacked. I had no recollection of the trade. I woke up and found out that I authorized the trade whilst I was sleeping. I lost 15 keys as well with the hat. But aside from that, I simply can't let this slide, especially when I'm seeing my effing stolen hat right there on the market. Lol. I don't effing care about even getting the hat. I just want revenge. It's like buying something, getting it stolen, then seeing that same effing item being resold. Action and punishment has to be taken. Period. I'm even being fair and offering to rebuy my stolen hat back at half price. $30, like around 20 keys. I don't think SP cares or is concerned since he only wants profit out of all of his trades. To anyone reading this, I'm trying to be fair about the situation. Another trader drops in, and again reasonably explains, that's not how trading works. STN bots are frequent scammer dumps which no one can control. Just because you got hijacked and your hats were stolen, doesn't mean the guy that buys from STN is obligated to return anything to you. If anything, you should be making a report on the hijacker. And then Dr. Beta dropped in and started trolling the victim by pretending to be on his side, saying, I personally believe SP should be prosecuted due to the natural factor of him being linked to the STN family. They're notorious for their big schemes with buying and selling unusuals. Some say they're very known for their good deals, but at what price? The price of the villain's unusual after they have been offloaded to the STN family's website, where the bots control the biggest scamming network of items. Beware. Don't forget, SP stands for Scammer Purchasing, his well-known nickname as seen through the evidence given here. And the victim falls for it saying, thanks Beta, you're a real one. Am I getting an update or has my case been closed at Overdue Pixels? I just want the hat taken down permanently on backpack.tf or for SP to be banned on this website. Either or will suffice for me. Traders that deal with scam bots are not to be trusted and causes great harm to the trading community. Action must be taken. He Discord pings the second person who explained why I'm not responsible and he crashes out again. At Lego Han Solo, repeat back what you just said to me. STN bots are frequent scammer dumps that no one can control. Doesn't mean the guy that buys from STN is obligated to return anything back. So why is someone like SP regularly trading with scam bots in the first place? Which is acknowledged. That's what my effing complaint is about, man. So mind your effing business because this isn't your concern. Your hat wasn't stolen, mine was. Shut the F up. Our third trader, Nozelius, replied with what exactly happened and what the consequences would be. I don't understand. You got hijacked, which means you put your information on a sketchy site, someone stole your hats and some keys from you, and dumps the hat to a bot, someone else buys the hat, and you decide to start a crusade to the guy who bought the hat instead of the one that actually stole stuff from you. Wouldn't it be more fruitful to make a report on the account that stole items from you, making the scammer's job, very slightly, more inconvenient? You looked at the item being on someone's BP and thought, oh, it's him the cause of all of this, when 99.99% of the people who buy and sell hats don't know anything about the item's history. And I'm sure that if you asked politely, SP would have sold the hat back to you for exactly how much you bought it for from STN, since it's pretty common behavior when it comes to giving back items to scammed victims. The second trader then replies, villain. First of all, Beta was using sarcasm. Second of all, STN is a website where people can sell and buy unusuals. It's not a scam site, lol. You're just very confused. A fourth trader steps in and rebuttals the villain's argument with logic on why it's clearly not my fault and the reason for why he's been threatening to getting me banned. So he requotes, STN bots are frequent scammer dumps that no one can control doesn't mean the guy that buys from STN is obligated to return anything back, so why is someone like SP regularly trading with scam bots in the first place? Well, the reason of it is that bots can't know if a person is a scammer or not if the person is not a marked scammer. And obviously, it isn't possible for STN to manually check every single transaction before it happens. You want them to return the hat to you, while SP bought it from a bot which bought the hat from the scammer. Why would they give it to you for such a cheap price just because you got scammed? It is your fault that you got scammed, not anyone else's. Why would they have to pay the price of your or scammer's actions? According to what others say, you haven't even created a report on the guy who scammed you, but you come here and whine about who the guy who bought the hat must give your hat back. It shows that you're not here to seek justice, but to get away from your mistakes for cheap. And the villain's last reply was, stupid, I did report the scam bot, and for the billionth time I was hijacked, not scammed. Shut the F up and go back to your minimum wage job and leave the forum, please. This is between me, SP, and the admin. So he's still convinced it's a scam bot, he's still convinced he was hijacked and not scammed, which I don't even know why it matters either way. Shut the F up and go back to your minimum wage job, which is a very satirical thing to say when you're the one making such a scene on losing $50 of a TF2 items, and leave this public forum even though he has the capability of making the forum private between an admin. The fourth trader replies, such a sad way of life you have. Like I said, SP or STN is not responsible about your mistakes. You are, so they won't get banned. You, on the other hand, ironically, will probably get banned from the forum because of the way you talk. I hope you grow up and get out of your spoiled child mindset. Farewell. The third trader replies, bro is telling others to go back to their minimum wage jobs while crying over a $40 item, scold emoji. Instead of attacking the people who are trying to help, why not focus on learning how they managed to hijack you and spread the word, helping others to not do the same mistake you did? Which I would 100% agree with. The worst thing you can do after getting scammed is doing exactly what the villain just did. And finally, the admin closed the report and invalidated it, stating, okay, this is not the place to insult and argue. When you began that report, it was completely unclear whether you are reporting the user that scammed/hijacked you or someone else. Looks like you are reporting users who ended up with your item. When it comes to situations like this, often the scammer will use third-party sites to dump items onto bots. Just because they have the item does not necessarily mean that they are a scammer too. While there are times they directly dump it onto their alts, however, in this situation, it just looks like the person has the item but has no correlation with the actual hijacking of your account. The scammer dumped it on the bot using other sites or account. It is best if you file in a report against the scammer. As a result, this report will be archived. Thank you for your report nonetheless. So that's the end of the report, and reasonably, I did not get banned anywhere. And very ironically, the villain started trading again, and he was actually doing well, but guess what? He got scammed again, and since early 2024, he's been inactive. And that concludes the story of when someone reported me. Now, I don't wish to spew hate on the guy because it's very obvious he was very confused and immature, but it won't really matter because he's both inactive and all of the information is already publicly available to view. All this to say, please ensure you are aware of all the scam techniques and act mature when you're talking to people online. I'll have a video pop up on screen here that outlines every scam technique in TF2, and all the types of scams are timestamped in the description of that video. Plus, check out my free Discord server with over 1300 members in which you can very much just pop in and ask a question on something you're unsure of, such as scams or trading advice. And beyond that, I'm selling a premium trading program which aims to get you to make 100 keys profit in under 90 days. There are already 60 members inside who have found great success, so if you have a backpack with at least 100 keys, I think I can help you out. Thump link in the description if you're interested. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. I'll catch you next time. See ya!